Good afternoon, beautiful people. Happy Friday and welcome to Arise with Jessica Carey. Thank you for whether you're joining me live or whether you're coming in later to watch the replay. Thank you for being here. So this week we're going to talk about the gorgeous woody scent of cedarwood. So if you've had a look at my page, I've shared a lot about the benefits of cedarwood this week. So I would encourage you to track back and have a look at some of those posts of how you can incorporate cedarwood. But cedarwood, it just brings me home into my heart. So I firstly got a beautiful diffuser blend that I've been using all week during the day in the salon that I would like to share with you. So the blend is a few drops of citrus bliss, 3 or 4, 3 drops of cedarwood, and 3 drops of Siberian fir, white fir, or Douglas fir. So whatever the fir oil is. It's just a really beautiful, it's got the sweetness of the citrus, but the softening and of the wood and the fir. So it's just simply gorgeous. So even a drop on the hand, inhale in and rub on the back of the neck is really, really beautiful. So that's how I've been using cedarwood this week the most. It's also such a beautiful oil to support sleep and to support rest. So diffusing it overnight with things like your lavender, your juniper berry, frankincense, any oil that's going to support your lavender peace, all of your oils that are going to support restful sleep. So I found it's a really beautiful oil to bring such a centering home. When you think of wood oils, they're very earthy, they're very grounding, so we can become grounded in our body when we use earthy oils or wood oils. So I found it really beautiful to support sleep. And this week, so cedarwood on an emotional level and on an energetic level is the oil of community. So hello beautiful ladies joining me. Mwah. So cedarwood is the oil of community, and it's been really interesting anchoring into, firstly, the scent of cedarwood and how I can incorporate it in for sleep and rest, as well as, your DIY cleaning products, your beard oils. It's a very practical oil to use for the hair and for the scalp. And hello, beautiful. And it's a really beautiful oil to use for making practical skincare without the toxic chemicals. So I found it really beautiful to add to my shampoo and conditioner to support my scalp, because anything to do with the scalp is based on anything to do with your hair, and the strength of your hair comes from your scalp. So if you've got a really healthy scalp, using things like your rosemary, your cedarwood, your lavender in your shampoo and conditioner, or also mixing them with some jojoba oil, some almond oil, and making your own scalp tonic kind of thing. So that's a few practical ways. Also, it's a really earthy masculine scent, so I find it's a really beautiful oil to use for men's colognes. So making your own men's colognes without the toxic chemicals in them. So we make beautiful pure fumes with women. It's the same thing for men. So making a natural pure fume for men that they can use as an aftershave or a cologne with really earthy scents. So using your cedarwood, using your vetiver, using your frankincense. So cedarwood is a very masculine oil, and I find most men that smell this oil really, really love it. So using it for things like making a beard oil. I've popped a recipe up this week on my page, so you're welcome to make that and have a look at it as well. So it's a very practical oil. It can be incorporated into a lot of DIY products, so it's really beautiful. But the essence of this oil that I've anchored into, which I've loved, is the oil of community, which is what cedarwood is. And I've really tapped into what community means to me, and how, if I don't feel a part of a community, how I can create that, or how I can vision that in a different way. So as we know, community brings people together, and every community is different, whether that's a suburb, a small town, a city, whatever it is. We all have little communities inside little communities. And I noticed so much that women are the nurturers of the community, and women actually bring people together. So I find it's really important as women that we want to bring people together, that we actually feel a part of something, that we feel accepted and loved and a part of a community. And for me personally, I've actually found that really difficult my whole life. I wouldn't say I flow with the norm, and I don't really flow with what everybody else does. I've never really wanted to, I don't think the word's fit in, but I've never wanted just to be a sheep or just follow the crowd. So sometimes in a community, when you do something that's different, it can actually bring up a lot of fear in people. And like when I opened my salon 8.5 years ago, and it was very alternate back then to have a holistic, eco-friendly hairdressing salon. And I rang one of my reps the other week, and she was like, "You had it nearly 9 years ago." And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "That's before anybody was doing that." And I was like, "I know." And I'm in Little Old Warwick. So it's, sometimes you've got to have patience when you're doing things in a community, and it takes time for people to adjust to that change. So, but on the other side of that is, if you don't feel a part of a community, it can be really isolating. And what I notice so much with people is that people are feeling more alone than ever. People want to feel a part of something. And I know for many years, I've just wanted to feel like I fit in. And I've just wanted to feel like people accept me for who I am and want me to be around. And being really vulnerable here. So I know as a woman, as a young woman, it's a very, very important thing to feel accepted and loved and a part of something. And I know that is a deep soul desire of every human on the planet, but particularly women. Women want to nurture one another, want to nurture children, want to be able to nurture a community and an environment. And when that need is not met, it can be really isolating for a lot of people, and it can be very, you kind of can go the opposite extreme, that you become extremely self-reliant and don't choose to receive support from others. And it's just like excessive self-reliance, where we just do everything on our own because it's just easier. It's easier than asking for support. It's easier than having to ask someone to help you. And what I've noticed that over the years and over the time that our lives have gotten so busy, that it's just so important and vital more than ever now that we find that sense of community, whether that's an online community, whether that's a community based on something you're interested in, whether that's through sport, whether that's through your kids are at school or in kindy or in daycare. It's just so important that you find people that you just vibe with. And I hadn't found that, and I still hadn't found that for quite a while. So I decided to start creating my own community. I started to create my own essence of people that could come together and collectively heal and support and be open and loving, because it's a powerful thing when women come together. Because when women gather together and nurture and celebrate one another, it heals the world. It heals a deep sense within us that is so vital, so we can nurture everyone. Women are nurturers, and we be of service to so many people. And one of the biggest things I've noticed this week in my salon is my clientele is majority women. I have a lot of male clientele as well, but obviously I spend a lot more time with women doing color work. And one of the biggest things I've noticed this week is women feeling like they're giving and giving and giving and giving and not getting anything in return, and feeling like their soul cup is empty. And I know that one of the best ways to fill up your cup is to be around other women, to share food, to share stories, to celebrate and listen to one another, and to feel a part of something. So what I love about Cedarwood, it actually invites you into that space of, if you're a strong-willed individual, it can soften you and celebrate your unique strengths and individuality, but allow you to have a supportive group, a supportive power, but also recognize that we're always supported, that we've always got community. We just need to be open to receive it. We've always got family. We've always got friends. There's always someone that we can reach out to and connect with. And I think in such a busy world that is based on social media like right now, is that we forget that it's always there. We forget that community is a feeling of belonging, and belonging is so vital for human existence. So what I have used Cedarwood for is knowing that we're not alone, that we're always deeply held and supported. And for me, it's actually opened me up. I have spent the last couple of years doing a lot of work on myself, a lot of personal development, and a lot of time really figuring out who I am and what I want. And I haven't been ready to share a lot of that with the world. And the last few weeks and the last couple of months, I've been working on my website and a lot of the work that I'm going to be expanding out into the world over the next 6 to 12 months. And I'm ready to be seen, and I'm ready to be a part of that community, and I'm ready to create community around that and create collective spaces where men and women come together and support one another and heal and nurture and share food and do all the beautiful things that make human beings connected. So I have actually, over the last few years, really isolated myself. I've spent so much time on my own to the point that it's really bloody comfortable. I love my own company, and I can't say I did that before. I really disliked my own company. I disliked who I was. I disliked who I was as a woman, as a person. I didn't love myself, and I've spent a lot of time and a lot of smiles and a lot of laughs and a lot of tears really working on myself so I could come to a point that I could actually elevate into creating community. And I know there's many women and many men that feel that way as well, that don't feel centered in themselves enough to be a part of something, or don't feel they're worthy of that. And I want you to know that there is always community for you in my space, and that I am always here to support you through anything that you need. So it's really an exciting feeling when the emergence of community happens, and the smiles it brings to people's faces. You know, when you've got an event if you're in a country town or your community, and people just come together, like it lights people up. Or when something tragic happens and you see people come together, you see people lift up and actually support one another. That is what community is, and it's such a powerful essence to be a part of. And I have many different communities now. One of my main communities is my doTERRA tribe, is my Carey collective space, which is launching in the next month for my beautiful tribe that I so appreciate and support, and love for supporting me in my business and supporting themselves first and foremost with the love and healing and alchemy of doTERRA Essential Oils. So it's been a beautiful oil to tap into, and it's been a powerful week tapping into the power of community and the essence and anchoring into the scent of cedarwood, because it's exactly what I'm emerging into right now. I don't want to be isolated anymore. I've done my time, and I'm ready to be out expressing to the world. And there's always going to be times that we always go back inward, but I'm ready to share that community and to share that connectedness with one another. So if you were interested, if you were in Warwick, if you're in the beautiful town of Warwick and you're around this long weekend, I am holding beautiful space on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock down by the river, with a beautiful group of women. We're just going to be sharing some food and getting some autumn sun and enjoying our afternoon. So whether you use doTERRA Essential Oils or you're part of my tribe or not, please come along. We would love to see you there. It's something we're going to do every month, is starting to create a new way of community. It's not necessarily going to be with the crowd you may be used to or the people you may be used to, but I think that's the beautiful essence of community, is not everybody has to be doing the same thing or on the same path or in the same stage of life. And we can learn off one another, and we can learn the wisdom from people of different generations, and we can share stories and uplift each other and have gratitude and appreciation that just lights up each other's souls. So if you're interested, you're welcome to PM me. I've also got the event on my page as well. But please come along. We're going to share a few tips and tricks as well, but most of all, we're just going to be connecting with like-minded souls. And so if that calls to your heart, please come along. But that's pretty much what I've learnt with Cedarwood this week. It's been fun. It's actually been really cool to dive into that and feel into the essence of what community means to me and how else I can cultivate that in my community and in my life. So please try that diffuser blend, because it is just like out of this world delicious. And yeah, try some DIY products as well. But next week, I am actually diving into the essence of cilantro, which I'm really excited about, because the emotional and energetic connection with that baby, it's going to be an interesting week to dive into. So I hope this video of my musings of cedarwood has supported you in some way, and please anchor into the essence of that, because it's just so beautiful to ground into that. But I hope you have a beautiful Friday evening and a lovely weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next week for Cilantro Week. Mwah!